Flosstube. Welcome to Creative Whim Studio. You guys, guess what it is today? It's release day. I'm so excited. So, I don't know if you can see it on my face. I know I see it in other designers' faces when they do a new release video. We work on these designs way in advance. There's one here that I designed a year ago. So, by the time you design it, or I should say not you, by the time I design it and I send it out to be stitched, because I don't do my own stitching, you know, life happens, and I never tell my model stitchers, like, you have to have it back by this date. Like, I never put pressure on them. I say, enjoy the stitch, take your time, and sometimes life happens and things in their, that's out of their control. You know what I'm saying? And so if it takes a year, it takes a year. That's why I'm constantly designing, so that I constantly have things coming in and going out, and I don't have to put that pressure on my model stitchers. Having said that, what I'm getting at is, you know, I send something out and it could take 6 months, it could take a month, it could take a year. I don't know when I'm gonna get it back. And then when I do get it back and I'm so excited, I just want to release it that day. That's why I do those little teaser photos, because I want to share it with you, but I don't want to reveal the entire piece. And then I have to wait and decide, you know, which release would this be best suited for. Then I have to fully finish it, and everything has to come together, and it's intense work. So when it does finally come together and I finally get to reveal the new releases to you, I just can't hardly contain myself. So let's get started. I am going to start out with punch needle. Finally, the punch needle book will be released. This is the painting that was the inspiration for the cover. This is the punch needle that is featured on the cover. So this design will be part of the punch needle Celebrate book. Now, what I want to talk about on the Celebrate book is this. Let me show you the cover real quick first. So this is just a piece of paper that I put on cardboard just so you can see what the cover is going to look like. I love this rusty kind of coral. Oh, I love that color. And what I did is I put the punch needle piece in front of the painting and took the picture for the cover. So I thought that was kind of fun. Now, the images that will be in the punch needle book, I am going to put in that book my stamp of approval, so that if you want to take that book and enlarge one of the designs inside of it, so that you can make maybe a hooked rug or do some quilting with it, or what do you call that? Wool felting, not wool felting, wool applique. Wool applique, or basically if you just want to be able to enlarge the images inside of that book for your own personal use to make something beautiful, I'm giving you permission in that book, so that when you do take it to Staples or somewhere to have things enlarged, you can show them in there that I give the approval to enlarge those designs. Now, I don't give the approval to make 1 million copies of something and give them away to your friends or something like that. You know, I mean, that goes without saying. It's the same with cross stitch, you know, it's for your own personal use, but I am giving you the go ahead to enlarge the images, to use them, you know, for whatever creative thing that you want to use them for, if that makes any sense at all. So here's the cover design. I love it. I love how it turned out. As of course, as you guys know, I love finishing on old antique books, and I just thought the color of this book was perfect, which was also the inspiration for the color of the book. The color of the book cover, I should say. Okay, now I finished this using Lady Dot Creates Toast Mini Pom-Pom. And I did not record myself finishing this, but I have a lot of finishing tutorials right here on my Flosstube channel. So just look around, and if you go into the playlist, you can see finishing tutorials there. So that is all I'm showing you out of the punch needle, because everything else that's in the book are just line drawings. The book is out being printed as we speak. And I really hope everything gets here so that I can get these things shipped out in a timely fashion. Okay, on to cross stitch. I have a total of 8 cross stitch designs. Oh, by the way, in the punch needle book, there will be 15 designs in there. So basically I'm coming out with 15 punch needle designs. Awesome. And I know some of you have been messaging me and emailing me and commenting on either Instagram or here on YouTube and saying, are you not doing punch needle anymore? Because I'm really not showing a lot of punch needle, but it was because I was preparing for the book. And anywho, I'm never giving up on punch needle. I love it, and I will do it till the day I die. Okay, next, or first, I should say first, we have Tilly's house. Oh my gosh, so you guys know that Tilly Goat is a friend of mine. And Tilly has shown up in a few different places. So now I have this cute little sampler, and Tilly's house is stitched 2 over 2 on 32 count linen. It's dying to stitch French vanilla. The finished size measures 7.5 by 4.5 inches. This chart was stitched by Tina Penton of Ohio. Thank you so much, Tina. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so for the finishing, what I did for this little cutie is I had a whole different idea. I actually spent time yesterday painting a wooden box. I thought the cover, or I thought this was going to fit on the cover. Oh my gosh, on the box lid. And when I put this on the sticky board, it didn't fit. If I would have put the pom-pom on, you wouldn't have even seen the box. It would have hung over the top of the box. It would look stupid. So I panicked because this is like, it's 6 o'clock at night. I'm still trying to finish up my last 2 designs. So I found a frame. Now this frame, I got this, I believe, at Hobby Lobby. Let's see, does it say on the back? Nope, my bad. I got this at Joann Fabrics. So Joann is where I got the frame. I adhered the piece to sticky board, and then I used Dames of the Needle Old Copper Penny pom-pom, and that's what I bought at Findlay, at Craft Gallery in Findlay last weekend. So not last weekend, the weekend before. Anywho, I love it. I love how it turned out, and you can see little Tilly up there on the hill, and I just think it's super sweet. Oh, and I wanted to mention that in this design, I used 2 weeks Dye Works and the rest are DMC. So there you go. So there you go. Next, we have Home for Christmas. This is I made it into an ornament. You can make a flat fold or frame it or however you want, but it was intended to be an ornament when I designed it. So this is Home for Christmas. This is stitched 2 over 2 on 32 count linen. The stitch count is 71 by 81. The finished size is 4.5 by 5 inches. This was stitched on Weichelt, if I'm saying that right, Country French Rain 32 count linen, and it was stitched by the amazing Daisy Tolson of Washington. Thank you so much, Daisy. I absolutely love this piece. So for finishing, I put the stitched piece on sticky board. Then I took another piece of sticky board and put some of my fabric. As you can see, I used it on the back as well. This is some of my Dashing Through the Snow fabric that was designed years and years ago. And then I made another piece of sticky board covered with fabric. And then I used, what is this? What did I use? I didn't write it down. Oh, Teresa. This is, I know it's Dames of the Needle. I can tell because Noir, I don't know. It's It stains with the needle, black mini pom-pom, let's just say that. And then the ribbon, so I use this ribbon. This is from Joann, and as well as this ribbon. Now this is like a wire ribbon. Okay, so let me just tell you, I did film myself finishing this. But I'm so disappointed and upset with myself because when you do these pieces, before you put your two, so there's a piece of foam core for the stitched piece. Then there's a piece of foam core. Not foam core, I'm sorry, sticky board. And then there's another piece of sticky board for the back piece, right? The pom-pom is inserted in between the two layers that are covered with fabric, okay? Well, before you put your two layers together, you're supposed to put your ribbon hanger in between them. Well, I'm an idiot and I totally forgot to put that on. So I had to put it on the back and it looks awful. So I'm going to put another piece of fabric over this. I just didn't have time, but I need to hide that. I'm back. Okay, so Kyle stopped by and dropped off his dog. He said he was coming at 3, but anyways, so there might be some whining. I put them on the other side of the studio, but there might be some whining and some barking and who knows. So basically what I left off with is that I have to cover this with fabric. I think that was all. I think I said everything I needed to say about this one, but I love it. I love it. I love the size because it won't get lost on your tree. It's just a nice size. It's about the size of my hand, as you can see. Okay, I'm so excited. Next, we have, look guys, I gotta get my face out of the picture so that it will focus. Okay, so this is Old Friend. Imagine that, so original with that name, right? Stitch 2 over 2 on, picture this plus Mystic 32 count linen. The stitch count is 77 by 95. Finish size 4 3/4 by 6 inches. This was stitched by Matthew Penton of Ohio. Matthew is the son of Tina Penton. So they are a mother-son duo that do stitching for me, and I just love how this turned out. So Old Friend, I did record myself finishing this, so this will be uploaded to my Patreon page. So if you're a patron at any level, you will get to see the finishing of this. This I used, so basically I did the same thing, just the sticky board for the stitched piece, and then I used Lady Dot Creates Bird Nest Chenille for around it, and I love it because it looks like teddy bear fur, doesn't it? I just thought it worked out perfectly. And then I just adhered the whole thing to this antique board, and I just put a little tin star on there, and I think it's just adorable. I really like how this turned out, and oh gosh, doesn't it just pop on that Mystic? Just pops. And it really, really turned out nice. The colors, you know, that's one of my, like, I know you guys have heard me say it before, but that's just one of my, that is just one of my most difficult things, is looking at what I have designed on my computer and then just saying a prayer when I send it out to be stitched that it's going to turn out like I envision in my head. And that one turned out exactly like I had hoped. I forgot to mention, on Home for Christmas, that one is stitched with 1 week's dye works and the rest DMC. Old Friend has 2 week's dye works, 1 classic color works, and the rest are DMC. Okay guys, I'm so excited about them all. Okay, here we have all the things. I mean, look at all the things. This is stitch 2 over 2 on Picture This Plus Gingerbread, 32 count linen. The stitch count is 160 by 136, and the finished size is 10 by 8 inches. This was stitched by Karen Simmons of Ohio. This design has about half and half. Weeks Dye Works. Let me see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Weeks Dye Works and 9 DMC flosses in this design. So I'm just going to zoom in for you so you can see all the detail that is in this. Now, I did a little redesigning of this because I loved the gingerbread color of this linen. And I have, for instance, on this bulb, oh my Lord, on this bulb I have all that in the center is negative space, so it just allows the linen to show through. I did that on the angel wings. I think I did it on the center of the star. I think I did it on Hope. Anyways, I went in and I changed that because I thought, well, not everybody's going to stitch it on the called for linen. And then when they get to this, they're going to say, what on earth is that? So I did do a little redesigning, but basically it'll look like this. I think the only thing I really changed is I made Hope. I put that with black, like the other letters, or the other words, peace and love. Well, with Hope, it just didn't show up good enough, so I changed that to black. So what I did with this piece is, again, actually no, this was pinned on foam core by Karen. She did that for me. And then I used, what did I use? Mossy. Lady Dot Creates Mossy Chenille trim around it. And then this fabric here is from Dashing Through the Snow fabric line that I had designed years ago. The ribbon is from Joanne Fabric, and then I just put it on a walnut hollow 11 by 14 board. So walnut hollow, I know you can get that at Joanne as well. I think they have a website, walnuthollow.com, that I think you can purchase from as well. But Michael's and Hobby Lobby, I don't know if they carry walnut hollow, but they might. So it's nice because it fits in a 11 by 14 piece of wood, or you could frame it in 11 by 14. Okay, so before we get to the 3 framed pieces that were framed by Paula at Craft Gallery, hear the dogs whining? That's not my dog, that's my son's dog, Bubba. Okay, this is my favorite piece that is not a sampler. I think I can safely say that. I love Lincoln's Eagle. So the title is Lincoln's Eagle. This was stitched 1/2 on Weeks Dye Works straw 40 count linen. The stitch count is 157 by 103, so the finished size is 7.5 by 5 inches. This was stitched by Vicki Noel of Texas. Thank you so much. I love it, I love it, I love it. This one has 5 Weeks Dye Works floss and 5 DMC floss. The finished piece was adhered to sticky board, and then I used scorched linen, Dames of the Needle, pom-pom around the trim, for the trim here, and then I put it on this super cool antique vintage book, and the color is perfect for this piece. So what it says is, those who deny freedom deserve it not for themselves. It's an Abraham Lincoln quote. That is why this is called Lincoln's Eagle. I know a lot of you, I did a little teaser photo of it, and I know a lot of you want this piece. I even had stores, I think people were contacting their LNSs because I had stores saying, what is the deal? Where can I get this? I have people that want it. And I'm like, oh, it was just a teaser. I just had a little short back and forth DM with Liz Matthews about the whole doing the sneak peeks. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing sneak peeks because I don't know. I mean, I get excited and I want to share it, but I think it does offer a little bit of a confusion for people because I think it's a pattern that's already out. Because sometimes people don't read the whole post. You know what I mean? They see the picture. Oh my gosh, Lincoln's Eagle. Oh, I'm going to call my store. You know, and they don't read the whole post, realizing that this is not going to be released or when it's going to be released. So I don't know. It's up for debate whether I am going to continue to do sneak peeks, but. Anyways, so this is Lincoln's Eagle. Thank you so much, Vicki, for stitching this. I love how it turned out. Okay, character. I absolutely love this piece. Let me read it first. Character is like a tree and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing. And again, Abraham Lincoln quote. Do you see a little bit of a trend here? Not trend, it's not even a trend. I love Abraham Lincoln. He's just amazing. And there's so many quotes from Abraham Lincoln that can be used in cross stitch and just to remind us of, you know, how to be an upstanding citizen. Okay, so this is part of my early American folk art series. This is called Character. I'm trying to hold it so that you can see it. Let me get out of the way. Maybe if I do this, I don't know. There's a little bit of a glare. Okay, this one, let me see. Stitch 2 over 2 on 32 count. Picture this plus cyprium. Stitch count 168 by 172. Finish size 10 1/4 by 10 1/2. This was stitched by Jessica Smith that lives right here in Michigan. Jessica's been with me from the beginning, stitching with me, for me, not with me, for me. And she is such a beautiful stitcher. And let's see, this one has pretty much all Weeks Dye Works and 1 DMC. But I do give the DMC equivalent on the back of the chart. This was framed by, you guessed it, the amazing Paula Fruth from Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio. So when she gets my pieces in, she'll pick out some frames and then send me photos, and then I get to choose which frame I want. Well, the funny thing is, you know, photos just never do justice to the piece, you know? Just, I mean, original paintings, stitching, what have you, it just doesn't look as good as it does in person. So, you know, I usually say, oh, I'm really leaning towards this one, and probably 8 times out of 10 maybe, I don't know, Paula, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm picking the same one that she really liked the best as well. But what I love about this frame is it's got this antique look to it, so it's got this kind of shiny gold, and I'm not normally into the shiny gold, but this one with the scroll work, the scroll work mimics the design in the piece, and I just love it. I love it. So thank you, Paula, for such an amazing job framing this piece and picking out frames. Okay, next. Oh My Bird. That is the name of this one. Oh My Bird. So, you know, who doesn't love a piece with a big bird in it, right? Man, that glare is really bugging me. So let me just zoom in and show you a little bit closer view so you can see all the detail. I love that little woman, but she's little in this piece, but she's way bigger than her house. And I love quirkiness like that. That little bird next to her, what is that? I don't know what it is. It's some sort of funky chicken, I guess. I don't know, but I love it. And then the dog is like barking at that bird, which I don't blame him. So it's full of birds. It's got butterflies in it. Just a fun piece, I thought. And I love the border. It's just really different. Now this border is one I actually sketched out in my sketchbook and then took it from there, which is just a different way for me to do it. Okay, let me back up so you can see the whole piece. Oh, my arm's killing me. Okay, so this is stitch 2 over 2 on Kitten Stitcher's 32 count graham cracker, which is the absolute perfect color for this design. So hopefully whoever wants to stitch this wool, reach out to Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Vanette, because it looks so good on this color. I can't even imagine on something else. It's a stitch count 128 by 196. The finished size is 8 by 12¼ inches. This was stitched by Mary Schreiner of Michigan. This piece has 4 classic color works, 3 weeks dye works, and 6 DMC colors in it. So thank you so much, Mary. You did a beautiful job stitching. I love it. Love how it turned out. And thank you, Paula. Again, let's zoom in on that frame. So what I love about this frame that Paula picked out is, so this color here mimics the bird color. And then this inner frame mimics the brown, the cocoa color of the bird, of the flower pot, some of the leaves, the tree trunk. I can't say enough. And last but definitely not least is Above All. I am so excited about this piece. It's been a long time coming. It's been done for a long time, and I just was waiting for the perfect time to release it, which is now. Okay, so let's go over the details on this piece. Above All was stitched 1/2 on 35 count Weeks Dye Works corn silk. The stitch count is 179 by 178, finished size 10¼ by 10¼ inches. This was stitched by Jerry English of Canada. Thank you, Jerry. She really worked with me on this. I had some errors on this chart in the border, and she helped me through that. There were a few things we changed, like the lady's dress. I had a couple colors that were too similar, and so the pattern in her dress wasn't showing up, so we went back and forth with photos to figure that out. Again, this was framed by Paula at Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio. And another thing I love about having my things framed at Craft Gallery is because she does all my framing, she knows which frames I've used, which ones I haven't. So there's a nice variety. This frame is very simple, but the color is perfect, and it just works really, really well with this piece. So yeah, thank you so much, Paula. Thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry, for being so patient as we worked through those issues. So the floss that was used on this piece, we have 3 classic color works, 5 weeks dye works, and 7 DMC floss. And on all my samplers, I always have the DMC equivalent if you choose to go that route. I'm back. There's something I wanted to mention to you all. All right, you guys know how much I love Paula's framing. She is so professional and just perfect lines. Everything is perfect. Now, for the cover of Land That I Love, remember how there was all this commotion and this confusion because, hey, guys, quit. Because the image on the front looked lighter, the tin roof linen looked lighter on the cover, and when people were buying tin roof, they're looking at it and they're saying, this is too dark. Guys, okay, so I didn't want that to happen again. I'm not a professional photographer, so when I photograph the covers, the lighting in the studio, everything can change the linen color. So what I did this time is I scanned the sampler in before I sent it to Craft Gallery to get framed. So what I did then is when I did the photography, I put that into Photoshop, and then the scanned piece I color corrected, and then I inserted the color corrected scan of the sampler into the frame using Photoshop. So, having said that, if you look at the cover and there's anything, like maybe the border on this side is a little wider than the border on the other side, know that that's me, that is not Paula. I have to say this out loud to everyone because I don't want anyone to think that anything is wrong with Paula's framing. But I did the best I could to get it in that frame, get it centered, make it look like it was framed in the frame because I want it to look good. And I really did my best, but it's not perfect like her framing is. But my main concern was getting the color right. I wanted the color to be true to what the fabric really looks like. Now we just have to hope that the printer, when they print it, that it's the same color as what I sent them. Does that make sense? Anyways, that's my PSA. I just wanted to give that shout out so that you all know my process now going here on out because of the issue I had with Land That I Love. So that's it, guys. Thanks. Bye. What do you think, guys? What do you think? I'm so excited. So by the time I have this video uploaded, your shops should have gotten the mass emailing showing the new releases and all of that jazz. So when you get a hold of your shop and let them know what you would like, maybe they haven't opened their email yet, I don't know, but be patient, y'all. Usually what I normally do is I normally show my new releases on the video and I send out the mass email, and I usually give the shops a week to get their orders together, and that next week is when I start shipping. That's the goal this time as well, but I don't have the sampler books in yet. So the punch needle book, and then Above All and Oh My Bird, those are all books. So they're all being printed right now. And usually it only takes like a week to a week and a half. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to ship, to be honest. Let's just say a prayer that when they do ship them out, I get them in a timely fashion and I can get those in the mail to you guys. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching all of my videos, and thank you for the questions and the comments and all the love. I just so appreciate this community beyond measure, really. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you, and look for these in your favorite LNS. All right, take care. Bye.